during your training program. It's also meant to, and also the other managers in the college, they will be doing the presentations. I'll just sit and listen. But as they make the presentations, kindly note your questions and then we can discuss them, probably at the end of each presentation. During the presentation, we'll all feed into the feedback or in terms of answering the questions that come up. So we won't waste time anymore. We've spent 30 minutes here already. Kumasi, can you hear us? Oh, great. Okay, so we'll start with the first presentation. I suspect Mr. Obusu will do the first presentation on training programs.
Yes, please.
Thank you. Very good afternoon. My name is Otis.
Where's Michael?
Good afternoon once again. My name is Both Registration and identification. You find that we didn't do your business numbers as well. And it's that which you use throughout the course of training. We're saying that the ID is your unique identifier, and all correspondence, they are watching the project. I have an example for you. The ID.
That's an issue.
Of qualification and accreditation from Ghana and dental council. So I'm afraid if you submit. Falsification of documents from employers and place of work. Examination malpractice. And we'll show you some of the malpractice. Presentation of false recommendation from any source. If you take in your own and take your own recommendation. False entries in logbooks. You have not done a procedure and you say you have done failure to submit logbook at specified time for examination. Proof of committed plagiarism. Now we do have plagiarism software. Anything good. So if you found to have copied, Ghana College will red flag it. Any commission or omission contrary to lay down rules and regulations of the college or constitute offenses. Penalties. The position of the fine to be determined by academic board of college. Withdrawal from the program is to be suspended. Referral to appropriate professional body for further disciplinary action. Referral for criminal prosecution. Suspension or cancellation of examination results. Cancellation of certificate. So we find that it's very severe if you were found to have falsified the bill. Thank you.
We'll take another presentation, this time from Mrs. Hetty Lane, and then we can have some questions and answer session before we go to. So Hetty will talk to us about CPTs and update courses.
As part of the activities that the education and training unit in academic affairs that we organize CPDs, what everybody calls CPDs. And as part of this presentation, I'll just try and break it down what composes what a CPD, a general CPD is. So things like we'll go through what a CPD is, what an update course is, a revision course, workshops, symposia, public educational lectures. We'll talk a little bit about mandatory courses, the medical knowledge, the ESR, the AGSM, and then accreditation by medical and dental council. So generally, a CPD is a half-day or a one-day program organized by the various faculties, and residents are supposed to attend at least 2 per year. That's right. So revision courses are programs again organized for residents. Revision courses are programs, usually a week, which includes clinical and practical sessions that are organized by the various faculties to help the residents prepare for their exams. These courses are usually for the final years, and every resident must attend one revision course in their 3-year or 4-year course. Okay, so other courses are usually 2 to 3 days, 2 or 3 day courses that are organized again by the faculty as part of calendar of activities. And then every resident must attend one course a year. Workshops are usually hands-on sessions. Example, the PLS course is a typical example of a workshop. Symposia are usually, they take the form of a panel discussion on a particular topic of importance. Similar to public lectures, but usually the public lectures are general topics and they are usually organized for the public and not medical topics as such. Sometimes we organize occasional lectures where you get a visiting professor from the US or the UK or outside, and they just do a one-off lecture for residents and all medical professionals. So currently there are 2 mandatory courses for all residents and senior residents: the evidence-based medicine course and then the diploma in project design and management. And then we have a yearly conference that the college organizes in collaboration with Africa Partners Medical and then Ghana Physicians and Surgeons Foundations. We've been doing it for the last 8 years. This year will be the 9th, and it's usually 4 days, and it's held in September. This year's conference will be held on the 24th to the 27th of September here in Accra. The AGSM is 5 days of different activities which are organized by the college. The first 2 days, usually we organize pre-conference workshops by the different faculties. And then the third day, there's the opening ceremony and the induction ceremony for members, newly qualified members, and then newly qualified fellows. The 4th day is the day for scientific sessions. So usually we do mainly scientific sessions from morning till the end of the day. And then the 5th day we have the business meeting for fellows and members of the college. This is also usually organized in December. And finally, all programs that the college organizes are accredited by the Medical and Dental Council. Thank you.
So can we have questions on the first 2 presentations? Anything that you feel like talking about, points of clarification? So maybe I would say something, just a clarification, and it's on the DPDM, the Diploma in Project Design and Management. This is a 1-year diploma course that recently we approved, and it's compulsory for, let me put it properly. There will be a requirement for anybody who's applying for the senior residency, which means that whilst you're doing your membership, or the year in between membership and fellowship, all of you who are residents should endeavor to take this course. It's not a full residential. There are 4 stints or 4 days of, if you like, face-to-face sessions, and the rest of it, you stay at home and you do assignments that you submit to your supervisors. At the end of the year, if you do everything successfully, then you'll be awarded a diploma by the college. It's one of the things we put in place to improve your research skills, to make your dissertation at the fellowship level easy for you. But we've noticed a number of problems that many senior residents have, and this is one of the solutions. So please endeavor to be part of it. You have to pay for it. I think it's 2,400 for the whole year. 2,005, I'm corrected, for the whole year. So please register. We're meant to have 2 cohorts at a time. 1 cohort in Kumasi and 1 in Accra. Currently, the first set of cohorts are in training. They started in November, so they will finish, if you like, next November or October. Yes, I think this year October. So we're going to advertise for the next lot, and please, when you see it, please apply to part of it because it's useful for you. Thank you. Any other question? Or you're happy we can move on? Kumasi, you have a question? Okay, so we can move on. We'll listen to Mr. Professor again on examinations and dissertations. And then we'll listen to a presentation on the college library. Oh, is there a hand up?
Yes, please.
Okay, please.
About the evidence-based I'm just trying to wonder, senior residents, now you have to do it again because some of us did it once we were junior residents. Yes, did you hear my question? Okay, so with the evidence-based medicine, some of us had the opportunity to do it while as junior residents. So I want to know whether we need to do it again as senior residents.
You don't have to. Once you've done it once, it's fine because you have a certificate for it.
Okay. And then my second question is, those who started the program now and haven't done the diploma in yes, that's one. We have to do it before we appear for the exam.
If you are doing the membership now, okay, if you are in residency training now, then before you come for senior residency, you should have done the PPDM. You don't need to do it before you come for the membership exam. But the idea is for you to use the 3 years or 4 years before you apply for senior residency to do it. Because if you apply for senior residency and you don't have the certificate, you won't be looked at.
So I'm asking about those who are already in the senior residency.
Okay, so because it's a new program, if you're in fellowship training already now, we're not going to worry you. But if you feel like doing it, I think they will help you, so please do it. No, we'll make it a compulsory requirement of you because it's new. Okay? Anybody who is in membership, it's a requirement.
Business, project management. They are colleagues who have also done the masters in public health based on research background.
There are colleagues who've done what?
The masters in public health, the MPH.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Hello. My next presentation is on examination and dissertation presentation. Mike, next. GCPS conducts primary examinations in March and September every year. Exit examination for membership and fellowship are also held in March, September each year. Application for forms are made available at the college hard copy and on the college website soft copy. The required fees for the forms are paid and timetable for residents numbers are issued. Submission of completed logbooks within deadline, which are all advertised as part of the exam process. Submission of one recent passport picture, MDC current retention certificate, and evidence of payment. Self-addressed envelope. We are saying this is under review because Academic Board of College has agreed that we go with a customized college envelope for our residents. It will be in effect very soon. Evidence of at least 2 CPDs. This applies to members and fellowship only, please. Candidates must fulfill all academic and financial obligations before we are allowed to write the examination. Failure of which we have alluded to earlier. Result of performance in examinations will not be released. Certificates will be withheld if you don't meet your financial obligations. The chief examiner of faculty will examine your logbook. Now we are going to use e-logbooks, which we've been introduced to speak about it. With the attached certificate of training at least 2 months before the membership or fellowship examination. A resident with an incomplete or unsatisfactory logbook will not be permitted to take the examination. By satisfactory, we mean at least 80% of the deliverables in the logbook. So if you came with a 70% deliverables, sorry, you come back next. Deferment of examination, under condition can you defer from writing exams. Approval considered under the following: medical grounds, just as deferment. Deferment would not be considered if forms are received later than 6 weeks before the date of examination. That is late application for deferment. You know, we have done all our commitments, invited examiners, so you brought it late, it will not be considered. 6 weeks before date of examination, 20% of exam fee is surcharged you, because as I mentioned, we have already made commitments, so we need to cater for that. And then receive within 6 weeks of examination date, you get no refund at all. Residents who do not pass the examination at first sitting may, with approval of the training institution, be granted further 6 months extension in training. Next. Proposal dissertation. All senior residents shall have at least 1, but not more than 2 dissertation supervisors from amongst the fellows of the faculty of the college. Guidelines for writing proposals and dissertation must be strictly adhered to. For example, format of references, presentation format, the font size, the line spacing, all must be adhered to. And we have it on our website, so you can always make reference to it. So this is the process you go through in submitting a proposal. The resident discusses with head of department, selects a topic. The HOD, in consultation with faculty chair, appoints supervisors. Supervisors review the proposal. Draft proposal is reviewed by the department. Proposal is submitted by head of department with a cover letter to the rector of the college. So after that, you start the flow. Yes, okay. Please mark, your pointer is not pointing. The candidate to head of department, that is the start, college administration, faculty chair proposes reviewers, it comes to the rector, then they are written to and copied back to the faculty chair, reviewers report to rector, comments to faculty chair and candidate. Is it approved? Yes. You go to ethical clearance, then candidate go ahead to conduct study, and then you proceed to write your dissertation. Is it approved? No. Candidate to correct proposal, or if you have to start over again, you go back to the start. Processes for dissertation defense. Data collection and dissertation write-up. Dissertation submission to college. Dissertation defense. Okay, there is a Turnitin in. We mentioned it earlier. We look at it if you've not copied and paste. Then, dissertation defense. On the day of exam, you meet a panel, external examiners, 2 external examiners, 2 internal examiners. Is it a pass or fail? Corrections to dissertation if pass. Sometimes you may be passed with minor corrections. Or you fail, and then the cycle begins. Examination day, what is a candidate supposed to do? To be seated 30 minutes before start of exams. Instructions are to be noted carefully. Logistics to be provided by candidates. Index numbers are to be written on question booklets. On question paper and answer booklet. And what the candidate is not supposed to do on the day of exams. No entry into the hall after 30 minutes. You will not be admitted if you came late. Programmable scientific calculators and phones are not allowed in the examination hall. Question booklets are not to be taken out of the hall, and you are also not allowed to mutilate the booklets. No mobile phones. Rotations and external rotations. This is very crucial to your training. Residents shall rotate through the major specialties during their training. After each 3 to 6 months rotation, each resident will have a written and clinical assessment. The results and the written report will be submitted to the rector of the college. Individual procedures and observations are to be recorded in the e-log books and are to be signed off by a supervisor soon after completion of the procedure. Certificate of training will be needed to be completed and signed off by the supervising consultant. Thank you.
So before we take the presentation on the library, just 2 points of clarification. It has to do with the exam deferment. What we are saying is that once you put in your applications to write the exam, and for whatever reason you feel that you are not able to write, please let us know before 6 weeks to the exam. We would allow you to go away, we'll pay you your money, but the money will be, the surcharge will be 25% of what you paid. So you will get 75% back. If you notify us later than 6 weeks to the exam, that is less than 6 weeks to the exam, we won't quarrel with you, you can defer your exam, but you won't get your application fees back. So please, make sure that you communicate to us early. The other one has to do with the anti-plagiarism testing with Turnitin. I'm not sure whether you've seen the letter, but we wrote a letter to all residents and senior residents in the college, telling them about some guidelines that we've decided on. We do have norms for the similarity testing, and these are norms that we agreed right across the whole of the sub-region amongst all the colleges. So for this college, if the similarity testing is more than 25%, then we will reject your dissertation. You have to go and redo and bring it back to us. No, if it's less than 25%, it's accepted. If it's between 26 and I think it's 60%, we'll reject it and you have to go and rewrite. If it's more than 60%, don't quote me, it's either 60 or 65%, then we will reject it, but we ban you from writing any paper in the college. These are decisions that we took right across all the colleges in the sub-region. So whether you're doing West Africa, Nigeria College, Liberia College, or Ghana College, these are the norms that apply. What we've done is that when you write your dissertation, we're happy to allow you to pass it through the Turnitin software to assure yourself that you are within the norms before you formally submit. You understand? So make use of that opportunity so that you have the opportunity to go and make the changes you have to do before the formal submission. The idea is not to punish anybody. The idea is to make sure that what you present for examination is original work. That's all there is to it. Last thing is to remember that your index number for any exam is the same as your resident ID number. That's the number that's going to be with you throughout your training. Thank you. Kingsley will now do something on the library.
Good afternoon. Okay. My name is Kingsley. I am the college librarian. I hope you can hear me. Okay.
The name of the library is the P.K. Nyame. Professor P.K. Nyame Library was named after him, the first rector of the college. And the aim of the college is to support learning, teaching, and also research for both faculty members and residents and all the stakeholders of the college, including residents. One of the aims is also to develop communication between the library and also, because we've realized that most people or most residents don't know the library and the various information resources or the resources that the library has. So you go through all the hassle and tussle in looking for information, whilst the library is there to give you that information, or the database or any information that you need in order to support your learning, your training, and also the research that you are doing. So that is the aim of the college. So the college librarian is an information professional, a health information professional who is there to help you or there to support you, to provide any help that you need when it comes to health or medical information resources that you need, especially trained for that. So yeah. So the task of the college librarian, as I already said, is basically support you in your various fields of endeavor. All the faculties, we support the faculties, the residents, the members, and the fellows. So that is basically what we do as a college library or as a college librarian. Also, we provide help desk services, faculty support, participating in collection development. The collection development is when, let's say, you have knowledge of a database or an online journal that you know that it is very important in your area of study or in the area of research, that maybe you cannot acquire it alone, but on your personal, but you want the college to acquire it in order to help you and your colleagues. When you bring it, you will push it to the rector's office, and then the academic board will sit down and vet if it is that one. They will take it from there, and then if they have to buy it for the college, they will buy it for the college so that all residents will have access to it as well. And we do user training, so when you come to the library, we will train you how to go about with the resources that we have, both the online and the physical resources that we have in the library. Please, next. And these are the information resources that we have as a college. We have access to over 100 databases and repositories. We have e-journals, which has over 65,000 titles in the various medical fields. And also we have access to the incision platforms for the surgeons. And we have access to the Henari and the PubMed databases as well. And we also have the BAM library off-campus digital resources. We have the passwords and everything. So our next slide will show us. And we also have a collection of theses. Please go back. We have a collection of theses. We don't allow theses to be photocopied, but you can read through, take down notes, but we don't, according to the MLA, Medical Library Authority, their resources and their regulations, we are not allowed, or residents are not allowed to photocopy theses. You can only make notes whilst you are reading through. Yes, because Some people will just go and photocopy and bring the same thing too. So we are not allowed to photocopy. We have CDs, we have computers connected with the internet, and we have free Wi-Fi. So when you come to the library, any research that you are doing, you have free Wi-Fi for you that you can connect your computer and research as well. Please, next. This is the BAM library. The BAM library open access. Okay, so we have the username. You can write it down, or you can have access to it anywhere that you are in the world. So you can just go to the University of Ghana library website, and then the open library access will they have a link there that will take you there. This is the password. The username is what you see there, and the password is what you see there. And when you are logging on, you have to select staff, because the student one is meant for the University of Ghana students and the medical students in Kolebu. So you have to select staff in order for you to have access or to aid you to log in. Please, next. Okay, and this is also the Henari login access. But for the Henari, please again, you don't have to use it outside the country. You can use it within the country, because our IP address of the nation is registered with the Henari. If you use it outside the country, it will be blocked. Recently, someone tried to access it in the US and it was blocked. We have to go through a lot of hassle and tussle before they restore it to us. So please, don't use it outside the country. Please, next. The library also provide help desk services. So you are free to walk in anytime anytime that you are free, you can walk in and ask any questions concerning these resources and databases that the college subscribes to. Please, next. We also provide support for the faculty, not only the faculty, but for residents, members, and fellows as well. So anytime, just walk in, as I said earlier, walk in and then. Please, next. 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 I already spoke about the collection activities. If you have a textbook or a book that you know that it will help the college in our research and teaching and all that you want the college to purchase, you can bring the title to us. We'll push it to the rector, and then the rector will take it from there. Please, next. And also communication. A lot of people, when they come to the library, they don't talk. So please, when you come, talk, and any information that you need, we will provide it for you. Please, next. Promotion. One of the things that we want to do is to also promote the library to you, because the library is being underutilized by residents. Normally, they come there at 4 p.m. whilst they know that we close at 5 p.m. So please. So we are promoting the library. We are promoting the library to you, that come to the library. The library has a lot of information and resources that are rich enough to support your training throughout your stay with us as a resident. Please, next. Next. Also, we help you in your research when it comes to we help you in your research when it comes to providing support when it comes to literature review, the right information that you need to support your literature review in the research that you are doing. So you can come and ask questions concerning it. We can direct you to the specific database where you can get the right articles to support or for your literature review in your thesis. Please, next. Okay, the library also has an etiquette, the do's and don'ts. So I'll just quickly rush through. The library is not open to the public. It is only open to fellows, members, and residents. So please, when you are coming, don't bring your friends who are not residents. They might be not allowed to access or sit in the library. And also, you can use all the resources that we have in the library when you come. There are some in law cases. Just talk to any library patron there. The person will just lead you there and open the law cases for you so that you can also have access to it. And also, please put your mobile phones on silent mode when you come to the library, because it disturbs your other colleagues who are there studying. And don't make phone calls in the library. And also, the last one is respect the library rules and regulations. Please, next. Okay. Don't make noise in the library. Don't use cell phones, as I've already said. Don't carry or move any items out of the library, including chairs, tables, books. Even the books, you have to ask for permission so that we have we have something, a process that you need to go through to check you out. We take your details before we can check out the book for you. And the book, you can only borrow it for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, if you don't return it, I'll personally call you, because you leave your phone numbers to bother you until you return the book. And also, do not install or uninstall any software program on the library's computers, because we found out that some residents, when they come, they install certain programs that normally, some of them are viruses and all that, and it bothers the computers, and the IT people have been dealing with me. But please don't install any programs on the computer or any softwares on the computer. And the last one is, please don't bring food into the library. We've been dealing with rodents and all that in the library who are chewing our books. Please don't bring food. If you want to eat, we have a pantry or a restaurant down there on the ground floor that you can go and then buy food. Okay, thank you very much. Please, any questions? Please, one of your colleagues is asking that, do we open on weekends? No, we don't open on weekends.
So at some point in the past, we tried to explore the possibility of opening the library after 5 and on weekends. But the usage was very low. I mean, if it's only one person who's going to sit there from 5 to 8, then there's no point in keeping the library open. So if we see the need and people are using it, then we'll make a case for it. There's something that, 2 things. The Ghana, Michigan e-learning resources, I think it didn't show. But we do have a set of e-learning resources in collaboration with Michigan. And if you go on the college website, you can actually access those e-learning materials from there. Okay. Last one has to do with the incision platform for surgical residents. You know, the college pays for an annual dues for all surgical residents for you to use the incision platform. So if you haven't had the opportunity to register, please speak to him. He'll help you register so you can make use of the learning materials on the incision platform. Otherwise, we're paying money for nothing. We pay in excess of $6,000 a year, or is it euros a year? So you have to make use of it. Thank you. Any other questions? So that I didn't ask Kumasi. Kumasi, do you have questions for us? Any Questions from Kumasi? Are you all happy? Okay, there's a question in the back.
Yes. Please, I have two questions. The first one is with the incision platform. I called, the last time I called somewhere in January, they told me that they were going to make the passwords available to all the junior residents by the end of February to our mails. But still, we haven't gotten the passwords for the incision. Because I was speaking to Prof. Deborah, and he was saying that usually they take the members who have just finished, they take their names out, and the new ones who have just been admitted, they register them and they send the passwords to them. So we've been waiting for the passwords, they are not coming.
If you please contact Kingsley, I'm sure he will help you through that process.
Okay, thank you. And the second one is with the GCS app. It's not well developed. You can't log in a lot of things. You can't even use an Apple software for it. So what's the way for it? But there are a lot of things that people are doing. You can't log in. You are just writing it on pieces of papers.
Okay, so let me say that we don't have an iOS version yet. So if you're using an Apple, then you should use the web-based version. So there's one for Android and a web-based version that you can use your computer to access. But I accept that in the last couple of months there have been issues with it. In fact, today we're meant to have a meeting. I hope he comes today. He says he's on his way from Takrady. The developer is coming. We'll try and resolve all the issues. But in the meantime, any procedures that you do, please write them out in a notebook and keep, so that once the resource is available, you can log them onto the platform. But we'll endeavor to make sure it's up and running very soon. Any other question? Yes, madam. She needs a mic.
Not be try this one.
Actually, it's not new. We've been running it for the last 2 years. True. And
We are not able to access it.
I know there's been a few issues. In fact, one of the issues that we had about 3 months ago was that there was an issue with Google itself. So it went off and it had to be reinstalled on the Play Store. And there was a procedure for doing that. So that happened. And then we had issues with access. One of the problems was that a few of the logbooks had not been uploaded. So if you were in those faculties, you find that you could not use them. In the last month or so, we've uploaded, at least for membership, we've uploaded all the logbooks, with the exception of public health. But you know, public health, the way you work, or those of you with public health, you really don't need the app, because they have a different way of doing it. They have a portfolio and things that they do. I know there are a few subspecialty fellowship programs to be uploaded. So for those of you at senior residents, particularly, I think it's the ones in Ops and Gynae that have not gone up, and we'll make sure they go up very soon. Any other question? Yes, sir. Kofi.
Thank you.
Thank you and good afternoon. I just want to question from Mr. Kwachi. Did you mention that if we know of any educative sites through the library, we can get the college to subscribe so that all of us will have access? If so, is the college already signed up on Up to Date? Because it's also a very educational site that a lot of us will benefit from. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll answer for Kingsley. For many years, we're on Up to Date. We're paying close to 7,000 a year. But the package they gave us, the IP address was limited to this college. So for you to access it, you had to come here. And we did the analysis in a year, you find that only about 20 people have come. So it wasn't worth it, so we stopped. That's the simple reason. For them, the IP address, if you like, nationwide, we're probably going to pay about 10 times more that amount of money, and it wasn't worth it. That's why we didn't do it. But the material that you can find in some of the other resources that we have, particularly the one in the BAM library. Okay. Any other? Kumasi, you've been quiet. Are you hungry? Michael, are they still with us? Yes. Okay, so we assume that Kumasi is fine. All right, let's move on. We'll take the last, unless there are other questions for us. Yes, madam.
Good afternoon, sir. With regards to the first presentation, there was something about fees, but we know that for this current batch, there's a first year junior residents who started in 2018. The government is absorbing the fees. I just want to find out if it is so, and that no fees would come up in the course of our training. Thank you.
Okay, so let me say that it is true that government is taking up the fees, but it's not for everybody. So if you work in certain quasi-government institutions, your institution pays your fees. If you are from SNIT, government is not paying. If you are from Cocoa Board, government is not paying, your institution will pay. But if you are from CHAG, Ghana Health Service, Ministry of Health Institutions, the police, the military, and there's one more, I remember, all of those are taken care of, even though the government hasn't paid yet. We'll send you to the minister to go and collect your fees. Yes, so you are not allowed to pay fees, the government takes care of it. Thank you. Can we move on? We'll take a presentation on the college website, and then we'll have one on payment, making payments into the college.
Good afternoon. My name is Michael Tufo. I'm the ICT manager for the college. I'll be taking you through GCPS ICT matters. Not only the website, but anything that has to do with ICT in the college, I will be handling it. I'll talk on the college website and resources available, and I also discuss the GCPS Pay. We have electronic payment system, and if you have a Visa or MasterCard, it's a platform you can use to make payment. I will throw a bit of light on it for you to know how to use it. And there's this software, Turn It In anti-plagiarism software, which the academic Amisofosu mentioned. As it stands now, we have integrated a platform, the platform partially, into our website for you to be able to submit your dissertation. So when we go there, I'll explain how it is done for you to see. Then I will speak about GCPS e-ports.
Next.
It doesn't feel Next. Next slide. Hello. Bismarck, open the college website. Okay, please. On the college website, you know, the first part of the content is college website and resources available. I want to take you to the college website so that you wouldn't spend too much time in locating the information you want. We all know doctors don't have time. So there's no point in wasting your time when you want to find a particular information. There are three aspects of the college website, which is very important. The main menu bar, that is where you have the whole about us, faculties, residency training. This one, please close the pop-up. Yes. So this is the main menu bar. Then the other aspect, which is also very important, is the slider, which is where you can see both those things flipping, showing and going. That is the slider. Then there's another aspect, which is upcoming events. We shall go there. When you go to home, if you are a resident, the easiest place you can locate your information is residency training. Any information we want you to have access to, we really go there first to put it there. As you can see, we have DM letter to residents. So every letter we write to you, there's a likelihood of putting a copy at that place. So anytime when you visit the college website, you can see it. You see information on training. Bismarck, you see we have training requirements, rules and regulations, training documents. We shall go through. All those things are resources available on the college website. There's another one, anti-plagiarism system implementation notion. That was the letter Prof was talking about. If you remember, Prof was saying we wrote a letter to all residents on the implementation, and that letter is available. You can go in, read it, and see the condition for acceptance of your dissertation. In fact, Prof couldn't exactly quote the marks, but they are there in the letter. It was stated. So please, find time, go there, read the letter for yourself. There's this one, dissertation submission. That is the partial integration, the IT in-house we've done. We want a situation you can send the soft copy of your dissertation ahead of time. Then we assess it and give you a report, whether you've failed or you've passed. Based on that report, the management of the college are so lenient enough to allow you to rework after the report. Even if you fail, you go beyond the margin. You can do the work again. Now submit it back for another assessment through the same platform. So please, this one, it's very important. Just click on the dissertation submission. You see, these are some of the things that likely happen with IT. So please, pardon us. Miss Ma, you go back to me.
Charlie.
The next side, our system, currently we've actually given access to almost all of you here. So the load has increased a bit. Pardon us. That's why it's slow, but our system is not as slow as this. Okay, this one, go there. I don't want. Oh, this one, go back. Please, Mark, let it open at the background and let me continue the presentation. Okay, please. Hello. Yes. Now I want to talk about the resources we have on the college website. At the moment, all the curricula that we have, if you go to the faculty page, if you go to faculties, when you go to the main menu of the college website, you see menu item called faculties. When you click on it, you see two divisions, division of physicians and division of surgeons. You see all the curricula for the various faculties. You can have access to them. Then we have rules and regulations for residency training. We have dissertation guidelines. They are all found under information on training. That one, when you go to residency training, like what we wanted to assess, that the network is preventing us, you will see all these information there. Please, next slide. We have publications, journals, newsletters. If you want to get a copy of the soft copy of the college journal, please, if you go to the main menu, you see publications. Under publications, you will see journals and newsletters. So you can have access to them. Next slide. Okay. Then we have another payment system I was talking of, which is GCPS Pay. That one, when you go to the college website, yes, see if it's open. The GCPS Pay is an electronic payment system with GT Bank. Actually, GT Bank is the fintech behind the payment system. So once you go there, you see all the things you can pay for in the college. When you select them, automatically the amount that is expected to charge against you will appear at all. Inside the fields will be filling. I hope the network helps us so that we could go through a few of the steps. It's not. I have the information that it's not opening. So I will proceed and do it later. So when you go there, there are forms you will have to fill. You go through the filling of the forms and it takes your Visa card or MasterCard details. The payment is made. After that, electronic receipt will be sent to you. What you need to do is this. You have to bring that electronic receipt to college to get college receipts to authenticate the payment you made. When the account person comes here, I believe he will give you account email. So in a situation where you can't come physically, you can send them email with the attachment of the electronic receipt. Then they can generate GCPS receipt ahead of time before you come for it. So let's say you are coming for a program. Before you come, your receipt is ready, waiting for you so that you can collect it. The next slide, please. Now, the 1018 anti-plagiarism software that I'm talking of, there's a form too that when you go to the college, you submit a copy of your dissertation. But there's this problem I have encountered. Maybe we will use this opportunity for Prof to educate us on that opportunity, on that side of things. When you submit for the first time, we do the analysis, we give you the report. You submit the second time, we do the analysis, we give you the resident a report. We do the third time, so maybe Prof will tell us how many times per resident that we can review his dissertation, because in actual fact we can't keep on doing the, because I've done the report for one resident about 3 times, which I've stopped. I don't want to continue with it again. But it looks like the person is doing try and error. The problem is he will correct a few things, and the next day, I'm ready. Then you will submit it. And still will fall above 37. Only 1 mark will go off. Meanwhile, you are supposed to come within 25, please. You are supposed to get the index at 25 maximum or below. But he's ranging around 37 and above. So please, after maybe Prof will let us all know that we know how many times we will have to go through that. Please, the next slide. The next slide, please. Okay, we have e-ports. For e-ports, I don't want to go there so much, but there's some few things I will need to inform you on. We all know the reason why we implemented e-ports. I hope you all understand why we implemented e-ports, which a lot of you even admit is a brilliant idea. If you go to the college website, we have an overview of the e-port. That is the link I've put there. Because the link is disturbing us. I don't want us to go there. So please, when you go to the college website, on the home page, the slider, you see e-port. Click on it. Anything you need to know on the e-port is available. And you will see all these documents. And this link you see, those of you who are using iOS, any other mobile phone apart from Android, you use any browser, then you open this link. You get it? So you can't give an excuse that you are using an iOS or you are not using an Android phone, so you can't use the app. There's a web version, and this is the link. If you can write it down, when you go to this side, you can enter in all your details. Even if you are using the app, the username and the password you are using on the app. If, for instance, one time you go to the hospital and the phone you are using is not there, but you've done something you want to capture, just get the computer, open this link, any computer, open this link, put your username and your password, all your particulars will open, and you will still have access to it like you are on your app. Okay, thank you. So the next slide. Okay, I think I'm almost done. But if you want to find out any issue related to ICT, you can send me email m24@gcps.edu.gh or ehof@gcps.edu.gh. Please, we prefer I respond to my email in real time. So if you have any issue on ePort, there's a help feature inside the ePort. You can use that one, or you can send me email. Anytime you send me email in real time, I will respond to it. Then we can take it out from there. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much. We'll take the final presentation and then we'll take questions. Mr. Bena.
Good afternoon. My name is Prosper Bena, Head of Accounts, and we are going to talk about financial matters. As you are aware, the Director told you that government has decided to take over the payment of the fees from 2018-2019. But unfortunately, up to now, nothing has been received. That doesn't mean you will not be paying for other programs. You will pay for your CPDs and you will be paying for medical knowledge fiesta, and then you'll be paying for the AGSM. And these college accounts, if you want to pay any of your CPD fees or whatever fees you need to pay, these are the college accounts. But if you want further information, you can come to the accounts department and we give you further information. Foreign residents are given the college account numbers on their invoices and they pay in USD. Now there's a challenge that we normally face when residents are paying for their fees through the bank. For example, Dr. A will give his fees to Dr. B to go and pay. But in paying, during the depositor's name, is Dr. B's name who will be there, which will be there. But rather, Dr. A is the one attending the program. When it happens that way, we have a challenge reconciling payments made into the accounts and residents attending the programs. So if somebody gives you his or her fee to go and pay on his or her behalf, please write the name of the person who will be attending the program. And as Rector said, it's not everybody who government is paying the residence fee. There are some residents who are self-sponsored, so they are not part of what government will be paying. And others to have their own sponsors who are paying on their behalf. And we will entreat all those who are being paid by their sponsors to be notifying them every academic year to pay for their fees. This officer has already, Mr. Tufa has already told you about the other payment schedule, the payment model at GT Pay, so I wouldn't go much into it. And then we also have walk-ins. You can easily walk into the accounts department and pay for your fees. Thank you very much.
Any questions? Yes.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the presentation. Please, I would like to ask a question about the GCPS e-port. Now, acknowledge that it has benefits in terms of reproducibility. Usually you would have your logbook sometimes sold by something or get misplaced, and no one will believe that you ever went through the rotation. However, the current system also has some inherent challenges that I would like to bring to the fore. Haven't used it since September. So my first rotation was in pediatrics, and when I used it then, most of the time, the people I worked with at the level that they are either senior residents or specialists, but the current app has only consultants as those who would endorse. And also it's hard for, assuming it becomes efficient and all things being equal, the inherent challenge is that if I logged in a case that I discussed with a specialist, and even if the consultant got an update in real time, there's no way for the consultant to verify if I have actually done what I said I have. And with time, with some challenges that come along the line, it is possible that the consultant may even forget my look or my name by the time that he or she receives the message. So I'd like to know if there is a way of perhaps broadening the base in terms of the people who can consent to it, or secondly, we also spoke about, there was also a picture about the certificate of training. There's currently no electronic copy of the certificate of training too. So those are the two areas I wanted you to address. Thank you.
Okay, so the idea of broadening the numbers and types of people who can, if you like, verify. You know, we have so many people who are in training. There are so many people in the hospitals who can help with training. Currently, we only allow the consultants and the actual trainers. So you may have a senior resident help you out, but you should tell your consultant that this is what has happened, and then he will log you in. It's difficult for us to keep track of all the residents and senior residents across the place. What we say, however, is that if there's a trainer in your institution who is not captured on the app, it should be possible for you to send a message to Mr. Tufo. We will verify to make sure that that person is indeed a trainer, and we'll upload the details of the person on the system. So next time, see, the thing is to make sure that people who are meant to train are doing the training. Otherwise, if you're not too careful, you find that your friends will be, you know the way we are. You do your thing, you give it to your friend to, if you like, verify, and then he verifies for you. And at that level, we're not sure. That's why we're keeping it at the trainer's level. But if there's a trainer in your institution who is not on it, send a name and details to him and his phone number, and he will be uploaded onto the system. I accept that we don't have the electronic version of the training certificate, and it's something that I think we need to work on. So we will start working on that soon. Okay. Any other question? I'm still worried that Kumasi is not asking any questions. Somebody's got his legs crossed. Okay. Those of us here, do you have any questions for us? Even if it's not on any of the presentations, but it's something that worries you, you want some clarification on. So I take it that we're all happy. Okay? Closer. Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, Zokosi, do you have any? Okay, so here your rep on council is asking about your annual leave. What we've said is that for your annual leave, you should arrange them in, if you like, in between rotations. So assuming you are doing a 3-month rotation in one particular area, you're going to do another 3-month rotation. You can take your leave in bits. So you can take the last 2 weeks of that particular rotation and move into the first 2 weeks of the next rotation. So you can get rid of 1 month of your 36 working days. And I think that if you did that, then you don't have any real difficulties meeting your rotations and carrying them out. Because if you want to take your 36 working days, then you have issues. You understand? So that's the way we've arranged it. If you arrange to take them in bits, in between rotations, then your rotations don't suffer. Okay. Yes, madam.
We're entitled.
Working days for senior officers and 21 working days for junior officers. Okay. So if there's no other question, I'll let the Vice Rector do the final closing for us.
Okay, good afternoon. I want to say a big thank you. I think the last time this program was organized, for those in the second year, it was not this smooth. And we did a lot of work behind the scenes to try and up our game. There's a room downstairs. I think the next time you're going to the library, just take a look at, they call it a teleconference room. It's about half this room. And we had residents this number. But today we've been able to expand, move the equipment and everything to get to this level. And we even have Kumasi listening in. And so I want to thank you for your patience. All the hitches that happened, you were very calm. And you worked with us. And today it's been successful. If it was church, I'd say give yourself a round of applause. But it's not church. So we want to thank you and wish you well. College has facilities and we have things that you can use to improve upon your training program. Please use them. Come to the library, ask questions, and utilize the facilities that have been made available so that in 3 years' time when you come, you just sail through and we'll make you members. So thank you all for coming and God bless you all. And Kumasi, thank you too.